When you launch your new WordPress site, you're going to want to know if you've got things set up in an optimized way. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through some of the things that I recommend to all of my clients when we launch their new website. So let's dive in.
All right, so once you're logged in, you can go into Settings, General, and you're going to want to make sure that your site title and tagline are looking good. The site title in particular, that's what people will end up seeing when your website is being shown on different search engine results pages. And it's actually used within certain plugins as well. So that's pretty important. Your URL, the WordPress address and site address. This here, I can't click in these boxes, but that's because I'm with Flywheel and it's managed WordPress hosting. But you could end up having to make some changes here. So if you're not quite sure why you have, HTTP instead of HTTPS, you might want to reach out to your developer and get that resolved. Next is your admin email. This is pretty important. This is what is being used by WordPress and any future plugins that you install that have notifications built in. The plugin developers will commonly grab whatever email is sitting here to set as which email gets notified of whatever is going on with that plugin. Oh yeah, and I did want to mention too, if you wanted to change this, you do need to confirm it. All right, so next you're going to want to change the time zone and date time formats if that is something important to you for whatever plugins you end up wanting to use. And when your week starts, if you're using built-in calendars. So next is your writing area here for a blog. You can specify categories. So instead of having uncategorized as the default, you can say that you want the default to be whatever you want, and it's just one less thing you have to think about. Within reading, this is pretty important. You're going to typically want to have a static page and then specify what you want as your home page. You could do select here, and then you could have your blog's archive page here instead as the home page. And another important thing is you don't want to see a checkbox there. You don't want to discourage search engines from indexing your site. If you have this unchecked, then eventually search engines will discover your website and crawl all of your pages. There are ways of accelerating this, and that is beyond the scope of this video, but definitely ask for help if you're interested in accelerating the process of being indexed. So next is discussion. So here, if you've got a blog and you want people to be able to submit comments, you'll want to make sure this is checked and then go through all of the different settings that are of interest to you. One that I highly recommend is that you check comment must be manually approved, because you don't want to let spam comments go through automatically. The next one would be permalinks. Now here for my blog, I added the category tag by just clicking this button here. So I went to the custom structure and then added categories. So all of my blog posts are going to include the category name. And typically I would ask people to use this one here. A lot of people don't want to have the date in their blog posts. They don't want to date things. Sometimes you could have a blog where it's actually quite helpful to let people know when it was published, but you can do that in other ways. It doesn't need to be in the URL. All right, so that's my overview of getting started with a new website. I hope it was helpful, and I will see you in the next video.
So if you have a WordPress site, I would love to hear what type of videos you're interested in. Let me know in the comments below.